that means the primary will also become secondary.
Right.
So
Okay.
you will have two secondaries, and none of them will be able to share the uh, or do the communication, right? And have the connections. So your network will go down.
Okay.
But if you enable failsafe mode, that means primary will stay primary and secondary will stay secondary. Okay,
Correct.
they will keep doing the job, but there will be no force failover or anything. Primary will serve the connection, but there will be some slags in the network.
Mhm.
Are we good, sir?
Yes.
That is the failsafe mode. So just to avoid uh, any connection loss, right? So this is if you want to secure the communication between the nodes, that RPC node password should be same on both the appliances, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And here, if you want to disable this, you can do that. If the when you're going to disable the HS synchronization, it is when you want to do some kind of testing of your new configurations, right?
Okay.
Okay, so you need to just uncheck both of them. You uncheck both of them. Are we good?
Yeah.
And once you want done some changes, just go to your nodes, select it, and say force synchronization. But the synchronization happens as soon as you have done the configuration.
Okay.
Okay. If the sync is already in progress, the command will fail and it will tell you that the sync is in progress.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So a phase of failover will only work when your primary node is able to see the secondary node is up and the health of secondary node is good. Only then the failover will work.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
are we good on this?
Yes.
And if you want to create a FIS, that is your failover interface set, failover interface set. That means even if one of the interfaces goes down, the other one can take over.
Hmm.
So it's like a grouping of your interfaces, right?
Okay.
All
Like
right. So
team, like
yes,
team, what we call for
you
the
can
sub.
call it nick teaming, yeah. So but they call it FIS, failover
Okay.
interface set.
Okay.
And then if you want to manage HA, that means when you log on to the NetScaler, you have both the NetScaler. So when you log on to this NetScaler, you might have seen that it will say you're logged on to secondary NetScaler, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen that message?
Uh, I don't recollect as such.
Okay, so I'll give you a way that you can always get connected to primary.
Okay.
Okay, without whichever the primary is gonna be. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, whichever the primary it is, whether it is this primary or this one, it will always get you connected to the primary, right?
Clear. Yes.
So this is why I'm going to create an SNIP for. All right, I'll make another SNIP and I will make that to manage the NetScaler. Or if you want to use the NSIP for your management, then you create a management VLAN so that it is isolated, because we never want to make the NetScaler IP to be the manage the NetScaler. Are we
Correct.
good now?
Yeah.
And then if you want to upgrade the NetScaler, because you see when you have a new box, you can upgrade any one of them. But if your box is you have been using the box, so first of all you will log on to the secondary device. You will say stay secondary and then upgrade that software on the secondary, right?
Okay.
Once the secondary is upgraded, you disable the stay secondary and do a force failover. Now the primary will become the secondary, right?
Right. Yeah.
Then you issue the same command to that current secondary one and then upgrade. So that is
Mhm.
how you do the upgrade of your NetScaler in the production.
Okay.
Or you can do a you see this is your stay secondary here, right? Or you can do in-service upgrade. That means you go to the system and you click on upgrade. That means your NetScaler should have access to the internet,
Hmm.
which we don't prefer because what we want you to do is download that package and then run the upgrade process.
Okay.
Right, sir? So
Yes.
if you want to know some common issues for HA,
Hmm.
maybe the synchronization has failed. Okay, unexpected failover. Maybe you have a different build number. You have upgraded some one of your NetScaler. Now the versions are different, so it can't do. Maybe there's a malfunctioning on the ports. Maybe the firewall has been blocked, blocking the port, right?
Yes.
So you can do that. So now what I will do is I will give you a 20 minutes break, right?
Okay.
And I hope your dinner is ready.
No, actually, during this, issues, I took my dinner. So, I, it's
Okay.
okay if you want to continue or if you want to take
I
just
will then show
10
you
minutes.
the lab, and then I would want to have my dinner as well, right?
Right. Yes.
So I'll show you the lab now
Okay.
for the HA.
Okay.
Now, whenever you do HA, make sure the device that you're going to join into HA should be on stay secondary, okay?
Okay.
Because otherwise it will push its blank configuration to the main box. So I
It will.
have two ADCs. I'll click on the two ADCs now, ADC 101, right?
Uh-huh.
And I will open another tab and go to ADC number 2002, right?
Okay.
So ns root password 1, ns root password 1. Okay, the 101 is my main one, okay?
Okay.
And 102 is the second box. So I am not going to configure any SNIP. I'm not going to configure DNS. Otherwise, it will become a primary itself, right?
Mhm.
So I'll just say continue. And then here, this is your in-system upgrade if you want to upgrade the NetScaler version, right?
Okay.
I'll go to system, I'll go to HA, I'll go to nodes, and I will edit it, and I will say stay secondary.
Mhm.
If I don't do that, it's going to push all the blank configuration into the main box, and you don't want to do that in production.
Okay.
So now I'll go to the main box, go to system, go to HA, go to the nodes, and now I will add the node. And I would say 192.168.10.102. Okay, and I will say ns root and password 1. Just give me 1 minute, please.
Yep. No problem.
Okay. So now you see, if I refresh this, it says 102 secondary, stay secondary, right?
Okay.
I will just save it and save the configuration. And if you see in the secondary box, if I go to network IPs, you see all these IPs are now synced. You remember we created this yesterday,
Yes.
so they are synced. So what I will do is I will go to the secondary box and remove it from the stay secondary. That means it will now be able to participate in the HA, right?
Okay.
So if I do a force failover, have a look. I'll do a force failover. I'll say yes. Okay. If I refresh it, you will see that 102 is now primary, right? You can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I will do the first failover, and you will see 101 will become the primary, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I put this on the stay secondary, you will see what's going to happen. I will save it, right?
Okay.
And I will refresh this. This is going to say stay secondary, right, sir?
Yeah.
If I say force sync, you will see that I'll get force sync is in progress, right?
Okay.
And if I do a force failover, it should fail, right?
Okay. Yes.
So that means if I do the force failover, it will fail. Now, the last thing that I want to show you here is this. Uh, when I'm going to do you see now, I don't want to be logging on to my I don't want to be logging on to my NetScaler individually, right? So watch here what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here on the networking, the IPs. I will add one IP. Is the subnet IP 192.168.10.103, right? 255.255.255.0. That's the subnet IP. And I'll scroll down and I'll enable this management access. And I'll just remove FTP and telnet. And I will say allow access to only management application, right? And I'll create it and I'll save. Now see what's going to happen. I'm going to open a new tab and put in as 192.168.10.103, right?
Ah,
And as root, password 1. You see, it will tell you the primary is 101, right?
yes.
Let me do a force failover for you. Because this, like this, it will always get you connected to the primary, right?
Okay.
See, 102 is primary, right?
Yes.
Now, if I go to 103 and open something, it's going to log me out and I have to log in again. See, it's logged onto the 102 now, right?
Okay. At the top it shows 103, but it's still connecting to 102. Okay.
Yeah, you see, this is a subnet IP.
Mm-hmm.
See, yeah, this is just a subnet IP. You see, 103 is just a subnet IP.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just passive. But
Okay.
It is actually connecting to the 102 NetScaler
Hmm.
because at the moment 102 is primary, right?
Right.
So even if I go back and change it to 101 and I do some kind of see, and you refresh it, you see 101 is now primary, right?
Yeah.
So this way you just we are just trying to avoid you logging on to the secondary every time. With this, you'll always get connected to the primary.
Hmm.
See? All right.
Right.
So this was your HA. So I'll just give you like 20 minutes break. I'll just also have my dinner, right?
Sure. Sure.
And what we'll do is then continue with the load balancing.
Okay.
So I'll just put a timer for 20 minutes
Yeah.
and I will mute myself. I will just now put my mic on mute.
Okay.
I will see you in 20 minutes, yeah?
All right. Yeah. Hi.
Hello?
Yes. Okay. We can begin.
Sorry?
I'm ready whenever you are.
You're ready, okay. So I'm not seeing that you're online. You're online, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm online.
Come, I don't see you online.
Where here in the GoTo meeting or
Yeah.
okay. Strange.
Okay, but you're able to see the screen, right?
Right. I can see your screen.
Okay. What I will do is now, okay, the way I want to approach this one, there's a load balancing exercise, the demo that I want to show you, right?
Okay.
Uh, the way I want to approach is I want to first show you the demo and then go into the theory
All right.
so that you will understand better after I've done the demo. While
Okay.
I'm doing the demo, I will take you back onto the one node architecture, right?
Okay.
You remember the architecture that I drew,
Yeah.
that one. So if you see this architecture here, the first thing I'm going to do is I have my backend server and I'm going to create server objects, right?
Yeah.
And then the services, and I'm going to bind the services to the virtual IP, right? Okay. We have
Okay.
already done VIP and then we have already binded the subnet IP to the VLAN, right, sir?
Yeah.
Yesterday. So now I'm going to do the server objects and bind it to the backend server and create services and assign the services to the server object and then bind the server object to the virtual IP, right?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, it's taking a bit of time to load the lab. Once it's ready, I will start. You can hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Okay. Log in. So you ready now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna create some service objects. I'm gonna log on to the 103 now that we just created. From now I'll be using 103. I will not be logging on to 101 or 102. I'll be just logging directly to 103.
Okay.
Okay. ns root ns root short one. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Gonna reduce this size here because now it's taking me to. I was getting disconnected again.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna now go log in and make sure that load balancing feature is enabled, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So after that, I'm gonna go into the traffic management, load balancing, and now I'm gonna click on the servers. This is the server object that I was talking about, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to add the servers. So I'm gonna give it a name, right? Okay. I
Okay.
will say SRV underscore red. This is my red server. I'm gonna give the actual IP of my red server or your resource server, which is your backend server, right?
Yes.
And I'll say create. I'll add another server, SRV underscore blue. Okay, underscore blue, right?
Okay.
And I will go to 192.168.30.52, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my backend. And I will go with the last one, SRV underscore green, and I'll say 192.168.30.53, right, sir?
Yeah.
So I have created the server objects. Now I will go and create services, individual service. If you want to create a group, you will create it from here. I'll show you how to create the groups also, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go and add, click on services and add. Okay,
Sir,
are we
could
good?
you just go back? Where was the server objects?
These are the server objects under traffic management, load balancing servers.
Right.
We would okay.
Yeah.
I call it server object. NetScaler calls it server because I just want to differentiate between your backend server and the server that they say in NetScaler. That's why I call it server object.
Okay.
So now I'll click on services and I'm going to add the services. So I will say SVC underscore red. Now I had an option to create the server objects from here also. From I just had to click new, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because since I've already created, so I'll say use existing server.
Okay. So.
And protocol is going to be HTTP port number 80, right?
Mhm.
I also click OK. And if you wanted to give a threshold and timeout, you can do that. But here I'll just leave it as it is and I will say done, right?
Okay.
I will add another one. I will say SVC underscore blue. and I'll choose an existing server and select the blue server, right?
Yeah.
And say OK, and I will say done. And I will add the third server, svc underscore green. This is my service, and I will go with existing server and I'll select the green server and
Hmm.
I'll say OK and I'll say done. So make sure your services are up, right?
Yeah.
So since I've added the blue server and the green server, right? Now I need to create a virtual server. Which one? Which is this one? Now I'm creating the virtual server, this one here, right?
Okay.
So I'll click on virtual servers here and I will add. So give it a name. I'll just say LB underscore VSRV underscore RBG, red, blue, and green. So whatever protocol you have selected on the services, the same protocol you will select here, right?
Hmm.
Okay, and you're gonna give me the IP address, which is going to be your virtual IP. Automatically, it will be created as a VIP, port 80, and then I'll say OK. And the main part is here. Until unless you don't bind the services, this will be showing you down.
Okay.
So here, if you have created the individual services like I have created, it will, then you click here. If you have created the service group, then you select this one, right?
Okay.
So I've created this individual services. So I'll click here and I will say select the services and I will select all my services that I've created, right?
Okay.
Now, what I've done is here, what I've done is now I've binded this one right here. This I've binded the services to
Hmm.
the load balancing virtual server, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm going to specify the load balancing. So I'll just say continue. And you see under advanced settings, right?
Okay.
Click on method. Once you click on method, you'll see your load balancing.
Uh-huh.
And these are your load balancing: round robin, least connection, least response time, destination IP hash source. So I will select round robin. So what happens with the round robin? It will select the request will go to each server at a time.
Right. But there's no other. I mean, like this is like the most commonly used.
This is
Uh,
the most commonly one: round robin, least connection, least response time, and least bandwidth and least packet. These are the ones that are commonly used.
okay.
And I will select this one and I will say done, right?
Hmm.
And make sure your services, the state and effective states are up, and save your configuration, right?
Okay. So just to review it once again, like first thing we did was create under the servers, and then we went to the uh,
Services,
services
and then to the virtual server, right?
to the virtual server. Okay.
Now you don't have to go directly to the servers. You can just go directly to services, and you can create your servers from here by saying new server.
Yes.
Okay, same thing with your service group. When
Hmm.
you say service group, whatever protocol names you have chosen, and when you say OK, it will ask you for the IP addresses and everything.
Okay.
I'll show you with the service group also. So let me show you now how it's happening. You see, at the moment, I don't have any hits on the servers, right? Can you see that they are 000?
Correct. Yeah.
Now have a look here.
Correct.
This is the blue server, right? This is the red one.
Hmm.
This is red, blue, green, red, blue, green, red, blue, green, right?
Yeah.
Now look here. You see the hits?
Mm-hmm. Evenly distributed. Yeah.
See, so everyone is getting each equal hits because of the round robin, right?
Correct.
This is the this is the round robin. Now, if you want to have persistence, I'll just go to the Reds, the virtual server and edit it, and under here, all right. You see under here, you see persistence, right? And
Persistence.
under advanced, you see persistence, right?
Okay.
And you can just say cookie insert. This is
Mm.
what I was telling you about, that if you want to, instead of using use source IP, you can create a cookie and insert that IP. So whenever the request comes, it in the HTTP header, the cookie is inserted.
Okay. So yeah, this thing I'm not
Yeah,
familiar with the cookie concept.
I will tell you this. See, I'm just going to put a cookie. So whichever first server I'm going to hit, I will always get that one. Okay.
Uh,
Here, if I'm hitting on the green on the blue one, right?
yeah.
I will always get blue. I'm refreshing it multiple times, but you see it's not changing from blue, right?
So uh,
That
what?
means I'm giving you a dedicated server.
Okay. So once a user connects to whatever server he connected, he will stay connected to that server only.
Yes. Now you see the blue server's got 23 hits.
Uh-huh.
So if you do with the cookie insert and say, right, whenever you get this request from this IP range, take them to this server. So they will always get connected to that server.
Okay.
So instead of using use source IP, you can use cookie insert.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you use source IP, it is going to limit the functionality of your ADC.
Okay.
That is why we use cookie insert. With the cookie insert, we just say, okay, just go with this IP address. That's it.
I see.
So this was your one of your load balancing of virtual servers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me show you load balancing with the service group, right?
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to create an LDAP one now. I'm going to load balance LDAP, right?
Right.
So instead of now me going to the servers and everything, I'll just directly go to service groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to add. Now see here, I'm just going to say, for example, uh, svcg underscore domain underscore LDAP, right?
Okay.
And on the protocol, I'll choose TCP because LDAP works on TCP, right, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And here, I will just say okay. And now
You're not required to put in the port for LDAP, whether like
he's here. It's going to be here.
9,
It's
6,
going to
8.
be here. Hold on. I see what you mean. Uh, I'll just delete that and see. I think I forgot to put the port, right?
Mm-hmm.
svcg underscore domain underscore LDAP and protocol TCP. Okay, it's not asking me port here, right?
Yes.
So now see what's going to happen. You see no service group member.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I'm going to add it.
Okay.
So I'm going to say 192.168.30.11 and 12, right?
Okay.
Port number 389.
Right.
And I'll say create. And I'll say okay. So I have created two members, right, sir?
Okay. Just a question here. Like, sometimes if it's a global catalog, it's working on 3268. So in that case, we'll have to create additional one, or can we add two ports over here?
No, you can, you'll have to create an additional one.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll say done,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I will go. Now, you see here, I'm going to create, uh, virtual IP automatically. If you
Okay.
see here on the system network IPs, you see I have only 172.21.10.101 as virtual IP, right?
Okay.
I'm going to create 103 now. And I'm not going to create it from here. I'll just directly create it from the load balancing virtual server, right?
Uh-huh.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So I'll call it LB underscore VSRV underscore LDAP, right, sir? And
Okay.
I will select TCP from here. Okay. I'm going to give it an IP of 172.21.10.103. This is the virtual IP, and I'm going to give it port number 389, right?
Okay.
Now, here, instead of choosing virtual service, now I'm going to select virtual server service group binding, right?
Okay.
Because we created a group, right, sir?
Yeah.
And I'll select the group,
Mm-hmm.
bind it, continue, okay? And just go to method, and I'll say whatever you want to choose, least connection, least bandwidth, least response time. You can say round robin, and I'll just say okay, and I'll say done. You'll save it. Now you see when I go back out to the uh, system network IPs, you see 103 is created automatically, right?
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah.
So this was one of your individual services and then group service group, right?
Okay.
Now, if you want to load balance MySQL database,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit different, just a slight difference.
But where would database come into the picture in a load balancer? I thought the clustering is on the server level only, right?
You see, there's a difference between cluster, failover cluster, or mirroring, or always on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, or a failover cluster, that is a totally different concept.
Okay.
Okay, load balancing is I would select your servers inside your cluster to load balance it.
Mm-hmm.
Failover clustering is not load balancing, it is just making sure that your cluster is on. So if one of the nodes goes down, other nodes takes on the responsibility.
Right. Okay.
It is not load balancing,
Mm-hmm.
it is just protecting your cluster, right?
Yes.
Because it's going to be using the quantum disk and voting system.
Right.
So if you want to load balance the database, first thing you have to do is create a database user, right?
Okay.
Which can be your service account also. Remember, I spoke about the service account.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go into system here, and under system, I will go to user administration. Under
Okay.
user administration, I'll go to database user, right?
Okay.
And I will create a database user. I will just say NetScaler SQL, right?
All right.
Okay, and whatever the password is for your service account, you'll give me that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I will say NetScaler here also. See, this is the password I've given. So this depends what password you have given to your service account. Yeah.
I mean, this is going to match the account in the AD or
Yes.
okay.
And I will create it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will go to the load balancing virtual servers, traffic management, load balancing virtual servers, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to add, and I will call it SRV underscore NYC dash LMP. You know what LMP means?
No.
Your database uses Linux.
No, we are working mostly on Microsoft SQL only.
Even SQL, okay.
Yeah.
My MySQL uses LAMP.
Okay.
That is your Linux, Apache, MySQL, and Postgre.
Okay. Okay.
SQL also uses Postgre.
Okay.
Okay, and that is the server I'm gonna give lamp dash one. Sorry, this is I'm gonna create it here under servers, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it a name, SRV underscore LMP under dash 001, right?
Okay.
This is not this one. SRV underscore NYC dash LMP dash 001, right? Okay.
Okay.
And I'll give the IP 192.168.30.61, which is the server IP. Okay, and I will say enable, make sure I will not say enable after creating, okay, for now,
Okay.
because I'm going to create the objects in a disabled state until the services with the pings are configured, okay. I need to configure ping monitors on this, and I'll show you how to create the monitors, right?
Okay.
And I'll create this, and I will add another one, and I will say SRV underscore NYC dash LMP dash 002, right? And I will give the IP of 192.168.30.62, and I will clear this as well, and I'm going to create. So these are disabled as you can see, right? So I'm gonna select both of them, and under select action you'll see these are disabled, right?
Yes.
If they're enabled you need to disable it, okay.
Hmm.
All right, now I'm going to create the services for MySQL. All
Okay.
right, so I'm going to go into the services, and I'm going to add, give it a name, svc underscore nyc dash lmp dash 001, right?
Okay.
Okay, and what should I use here? I'm gonna use my LAMP server, right?
Okay.
And you see here the protocol is going to be MySQL, this one.
Hmm.
And then the port I'm going to use is 3306. So whatever port you're using, you can use that, right?
Yeah.
And I will add that and one, okay. And here you will see here that I need to bind a monitor. So I'll click on this under the monitors, right? And I will say add binding, not TCP. TCP is the default monitor that whenever you create a service, TCP default will be created, right?
Okay.
Okay, this is the default. So I'm gonna change and add binding, and I'm going to select the monitor, and I'm going to use ping because I want it to go and keep pinging my SQL server, right?
Okay.
And I will bind it, and I'll say done. See, still out of service, right?
Hmm.
Now I'm going to go with the second one. I will add, give it a name, svc underscore nyc dash lmp dash 002. Use the existing server, and I will select the second one, right? Protocol is going to be MySQL, and port is going to be 3306, right, sir?
Okay. The same
Uh,
as the first one.
Sorry?
Same as the first one.
Yeah, and I'm going to change this to ping and bind it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back onto the servers here, and now I can enable it. All right, because I wanted to get the pings first, right?
Okay.
And go back to the services. Now you'll see the services are up.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna create a virtual server. So I'm gonna add, and I will call it LB underscore VSRV underscore MySQL, right? And
Okay.
MySQL here, right? IP address 172.21.10.104, port number 3306, and I'll say OK. And under the service binding, click on this, right? Select your LAMP services and continue and click on the method. Now here, because it's a SQL connection, so we'll go with the least connection, right? Okay.
Okay.
We'll not do round robin on the database. We'll use the least connection because database servers are very critical. And that's basically it. That's how you do the, if you want
Okay.
to test, right?
Yeah.
Um, if you want to test, I will see, I'm going to go on to my SQL server now.
Okay.
I'll just open here. You will see I have a high SQL, right?
Mhm.
Okay. I'll open that up. I'll skip this, and you will see that I've got my SQL test. I will open that up, right?
Okay.
Network type should be MySQL TCP. I've got that IP address, username NetScaler SQL, right? Password is NetScaler, port number 3306, right? And database is gonna be, should be here. Uh, IMDb, right?
I.
Database, just to test it, okay?
Okay.
And settings will be changed and say yes. This is your database right here. And then you can play, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna select IMDb on the left side, all right?
Okay.
And we're gonna select the query. So how do I test this?
Uh, Not sure.
Hmm? You see here query.
Yeah.
I'm going to enter a query, right? Okay. And I'm going to say select from actors, okay, where actors dot last underscore name, right, equals Tazova. So you see, these are your expressions that I said you need to know, right?
Okay.
So here, mm, okay, I'm getting an error. Let me see where, okay, this is the one that I'm having. I need to close that and see. You see there, Tazova, right?
Yeah.
This is the ID, A Tazova, gender is female, right?
Okay.
So we got one record, right?
Yeah.
So if I go back, to this, you should be. I hope it doesn't get cleared out quick. You see, I've got six service hits on this, on both.
Okay.
One is going with six requests, other one has gone with 36.
All right.
So this is how you do the load balancing, sir.
Mhm.
So whether you do it for this or your exchange, the only thing with the exchange is you're gonna put the active sync.
Okay. So, well, in Exchange, I believe what they have is a different configuration for Outlook,
Yes.
different setup for OWASP, different for
That is
EW.
now the policies.
Sorry.
That is now the policies.
Yeah.
You have configured your servers for over for your Outlook, okay, different VIPs, and with that you have created a policy, and inside that policy you have written the expression.
Hmm.
That is what happens.
Yeah. This part, like, it was not clear to me. Like, when the servers are hosted behind a load balancer IP, and usually it's mapped to a specific URL, and then how are you dividing the request to, it's like domain name, then slash EWS or slash active sync or slash
Right.
something. So
Uh, Let me show you
same.
something. I have a screenshot somewhere that I've taken.
Okay.
I was doing a migration from the SDX box to MPX, and they had these whips of OVA and everything.
Okay.
Just need to now go check on the. I don't know which one it is, so I just need to go and check on this. See, I don't know how clear it will be.
Okay.
Okay, I have used here. If you see, the first one is OVA, right?
Okay.
The other one is your mail, RPC, remote.
Okay.
Then you got MAPI, then you got EWS, then you got your authentication, right?
Hmm.
So this is what we have been doing, right? And with that, as you see, I've created a lot of virtual servers for HTTP, right, sir?
Yeah.
So same thing you guys are gonna be also doing, right?
Yeah, but my point was like, maybe I need to go back and refer to the expression thing and all. How the URLs are being
Yeah, I know.
from.
I'm just trying to get to the
It's
expression.
yeah, it's just like the configuration part, but not the actual things. How do do I have to put in the whole of the URL, or how do the matching work, or
Yeah, I know. Just I'm just looking for that URL thing.
hmm.
So basically, it's gonna be policies that you create. Okay.
Hmm.
So inside that policy, you create your URL. So it's gonna be basically here where you're gonna go under your app expert, and
Hmm.
you go scroll down to your responder. Then you go to your policies, and then you
Okay.
create a policy, and then you add the expression here.
Okay.
Whatever your over URL is, you're gonna say you add the expression here, right?
uh, Expression. Okay. So, like, can we take a look at some kind of expression? Like, it's going to be like the if you do n slash over. I mean, do we enter just the over part, or
That's gonna be where you're gonna put all your URLs for the over.
Okay.
Okay, here I'll show you this one.
Hmm.
What one? You're gonna create a content switching policy actually.
Okay.
So you're gonna put all this, and you say this should contains over, right?
HTTP request URL set text
URL
mode.
set text mode ignore case, but it should contain over, right? Because you're
Okay.
gonna have something like ABCD exchange slash over, right?
Yeah.
So you basically after this you're gonna be creating under traffic management, you're gonna be creating a content switching server, and then you're gonna create a content switching policy.
Okay.
So that is where you're gonna have all your over and everything, right?
Okay.
Are we good with this, sir?
Yeah, but I was looking for more more hands-on into those. Maybe like do we have like lab guides or
No,
something
we
drawn
don't.
or
You need to have your own environment for you to do the testing here.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but at least uh, don't we normally in the labs like try out some like some basic or certain examples, picking up whether Exchange or SharePoint or something
No,
like that.
that's why we go with the client's environment, and then we help them from there.
Uh-huh.
Because here, you just follow this set of procedures, and that's it. You don't have much to play around because the IPs are very much to the lab environment, right? Even if I give you the labs, you cannot go
Yeah.
left or right. So that's
Hmm.
why we play. We say, okay, the client should have the environment, and we can help them from there.
Okay.
That is why I was asking you if you have a testing environment.
Okay.
Right, sir. So this is what I have for you, and let me
Hmm.
know if you have any questions on this.
No, you're good with it. So my question here is like at the end of the course or midway, will you be sharing these uh, Citrix documents or
I'll
link
share
for this,
it.
or it should be shared by iCert, or what's the story with this? Because
I will share
I
it. I will share
uh,
it to you now.
okay.
Okay, I will just.
At the same time, is there I mean, like if you are aware, is there the Cisco routers and switches? There are like some companies like INE that are, uh, they have those lab credits where they allow you to buy some credits and connect to the labs
No,
and
Citrix doesn't have that.
okay,
The
and nothing even from Citrix themselves, like no option for some lab hands-on or something things
a
like
buy
that.
lab from Citrix, that's gonna cost you home. It's gonna cost you a lot.
Okay.
That is gonna cost you a lot.
Mhm.
I will share you the. Let me just check where it is. I'll put it in the group so you can get it from there, right?
In the yeah, okay, right.
Okay. So let me know if you have any questions, queries, anything.
Mhm.
Are we good?
Yeah. Note, I'll just refer this and uh, actually for me, because I, like I said, I wasn't directly working on it, but from a distance, because we are like most of the time coming or facing issues or have to
Mhm.
deal with the team uh, for getting our services published, or sometimes trying to close vulnerabilities a lot of times because of the exchange integration and stuff. So uh, I have questions based on the experiences that I had and the issues that I faced. Now I'm
Well,
not sure. Sorry.
let me know the questions, but you need to share some. I might even ask you to share your environment if that's possible.
I mean, those issues. How would you be able to see them? Like that's my concern, because I don't have access to the Citrix.
Yeah. So until unless you have a screenshot or something that
Hmm.
can be a little bit of help.
Okay. No, I'm not looking for exact solution for my issue. What I'm
Mhm.
trying to look for is like gain and understanding. Like one of the things I'll tell you, it was about enabling or disabling the older versions of TLS, and hardening the servers by blocking the obsolete or the older values of TLS or hash and cipher. So there are those algorithms and stuff which we were blocking based on the cybersecurity recommendations. We found that when we are enforcing certain TLS or blocking certain TLS older versions and enforcing the newer ones, and then there is also ciphers and hash.
Mhm.
After we apply all the controls from the browsers, from the registry settings on the server level, but when the teams they do those penetration testings, the scans and all to find the vulnerabilities, they were still seeing them as open. Eventually, we had to no choice but to open case with Microsoft, and we consulted them. They said, "See, your servers are secure. The problem is your load balancer is not." So that's when we knew, okay, it has to be done on both sides. So we went back to the load balancer team, and then when they tried to do it, we came across unexpected behavior. Some services working, some are not working, and then
That's
regardless,
because when you do those kind of things, your load balancer should have its own certificate as well, right?
right,
Okay.
right.
And if your certificate is made in SSL, you cannot use TLS. So you need to now renew it or get new certificate first, which is going to be in TLS format, right?
See, again, from certificate, I'm not very expert with the certificate thing, but yes, this part has been a question mark for me, because I was
I'll just
thinking the
tell you,
same thing.
look, just listen,
Yeah.
because okay, you're not comfortable or not experienced in the certificate.
Hmm.
One thing that you need to do is, if you have a load balancer in between or a ADC in between, rather, you
Hmm.
need to have a set root certificate on that ADC, okay?
Okay.
And then under your SSL parameters, you need to now disable the SSL version 1, 2, and 3, and
Correct.
make sure you have TLS version 11, 12, and 13 on checked. Okay.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. That is one.
Hmm.
Now, if your clients are not trusting that, then yes, your services will go down. And if
Correct.
you have not binded
Hmm.
the certificate for on your services with
Yeah.
a private key, then yes, it will not work
Okay. Why not?
because your services don't have a certificate.
Uh,
See,
I didn't get your point. If we bind the
uh,
certificate with the
I'll
key,
tell you
it won't
something.
work.
I'll just start one more lab. Okay.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be right now. I'm
Yeah,
I
yeah, I'm
have
just
to
telling you
be,
right now. So I'm not creating